If you are turning 30 or in your 20s, this is the video for you.
Can somebody explain to me why everybody is trying to be living like a celebrity, doing what they see on MTV?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kindall, and I am back yet with another video. In today's video, we're gonna do something completely different. This is for all my girls that are in their mid to late 20s, or my girlies who are about to turn 30. I want to give you some tips that can just help transcend and make this process a little easier, and just teach you some things that I have learned in my 20s. Now that I'm 30, how am I implementing different things in my life currently? So just go ahead and stay tuned for the rest of this video. So let me be a big sister to you guys. If you are in your 20s and you're watching this video, I'm gonna get real up close and personal with you guys, and we're gonna talk about what my 20s has taught me. And if you're still in your 20s, I kind of want you to try to implement these things and let me know how it has worked for you. And these are in no particular order. I'm not sure if I said that. I have everything written down in my little notes book. One of the first things in my 20s has taught me is patience. Like, y'all, honestly, my son taught me that, but my 20s definitely taught me patience. Like, with patience comes with everything. Like, if you be patient about some things and you just work hard, things will work in your favors. Like, do not try to jumpstart anything. Don't try to rush anything. Don't try to speed up the process or help things along. Like, no, just be patient, sit back, and you're gonna be good. Like, that's one of the main things like my 20s has taught me. The second thing I would say is go to college. Like, go for the experience. Go, because college teach you things that nobody else is gonna teach you. College teaches you survival. College teaches you balance. College teaches you how to, like, let a box of noodles stretch. Like, it teaches you survival. Like, honestly, if you don't learn anything else for college, college teaches you survival. Like, it taught me how to survive on my own. It helped me transition from my parents' house to my current house. So I would definitely say go to college if you can. Go on a college campus, or if you got a friend, like, go to the college campus and see what it's like. Don't just go to the parties. Well, then, no, that makes no sense. So yeah, go to college. Another thing is my 20s taught me that it's okay to be different. Like, in high school, you get picked on for being very different, for looking different, dressing different, all of that kind of stuff. It's okay to be different. Different is actually good, honestly, because you're on a whole different frequency. You're vibrating 10 times, I'm talking like a million times higher than anybody else that's around you. There is nobody else like you, so why would you want to be like everybody else? You get what I'm saying? Like, you need to be different. It's okay. Embrace your differentness. Like, that is what will make you unique. Like, some of you guys are trying to figure out like what it is that you're good at. You're good at being who you are. That's it. Moving on to the next thing, I would say travel as much as possible, especially if you are single and you don't have any kids. I would definitely say travel. Like, I mean, I could travel in my 30s because that's what I'm doing, but I wish I would have traveled more in my 20s. Like, I wish I would have went all over the world. Like, for those of you who don't know, I had my passport since I was 16, okay? And ask me how many stamps is in there. Not enough, and it's about to expire if it has not already expired. Like, no, like, girl, travel. If you are in your 20s, even if this is your last year, travel. Go ahead, travel. Book a lot of trips. Go. Time waits for nobody, so travel as much as possible. That's all I can say is travel. So speaking of relationships, let's just go dive off on the deep end on this one. You do not need to be in a committed relationship. I wish somebody would have told me this and I listened. You do not need a boyfriend. You don't need a man. You don't need a wannabe, anything. Like, enjoy your life. Enjoy your best life, because you don't get your 20s back. You don't get that body back, baby. You don't get none of that back. You don't get your innocence back, like your will to do things, your drive, your dedication, baby. We sleepy all the time now. So if you're in your 20s, you got all this energy, just go ahead and just channel it into just being you. Like, focus on yourself, find yourself, figure out who you are, what you like to do. So that involves dating people. Like, figuring out what kind of man you like. You know, you don't have to get your heart broken to figure out what kind of man you like. And that's something I wish somebody would have told me when I was turning 25, 26, 22, 24, is that, baby, you don't need a man to break your heart to figure out who you are and what you like. You don't need that. So then that also brings me into my next point. It leads me right into the next point, which is preserve your womanhood. Like, do not just sow your oats out to every man. Like, don't be sleeping around. So get a date, but don't give this down there to everybody. Preserve it as much as possible. Preserve her, because you want her to have the strength and the freshness in, ew, I know that sounds gross. But you want her to be nice and tagged, not loose and ran through. You want her to be good for your husband, because if your goal is to eventually marry, you need to date and preserve the cookie, okay? If you're gonna do a relationship, do like 1 or 2, but I don't want to say like cancel men, but don't put too much in it unless you're called to, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Another thing my 20s have taught me is that less is more. Like, the less you do, the more you're gonna give off. Like, you ain't gotta say much, you ain't gotta do much, you ain't gotta act extra, you ain't gotta be putting everything on. Granted, I like to get all dolled up, but my makeup isn't like out there, you know. My hair isn't super crazy. Like, do enough that satisfies me. I used to do things that satisfy other people, and I used to be like, oh no, I gotta be different, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like, I gotta prove to these people who don't know me that I am this person, you know. You ain't gotta do all of that. They gonna perceive that. Even if you was just dialing back a little less, they gonna still perceive that as that. You see what I'm saying? Your message can still get across without you having to do so much. So hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Like, if you catching what I'm putting down, like, comment down below for real. Another thing I wish somebody told me is to save my money. Like, stop blowing through money. Like, I had the poorest saving, money management, whatever you want to call it. I was not good at it, because in my 20s, I'm blowing refund checks. Like, I'm out here acting like I'm freaking Big Meat to somebody. Like, I'm out here just cashing out. Like y'all, I wish somebody would have told me, like, girl, stop spending all your money. Like, learn how to save so I can go on trips. Like, that money I was just blowing off, I could have just took a trip. Like, took another trip, and then another trip, and then another trip, and then another trip, and then another trip. Like, girl, I would have been all over the world at that point. But yeah, definitely save your money, especially if you are getting refund checks. If you are in college and you're getting those refund checks, please save your money. Like, you ain't gotta blow the bag. Like, invest in yourself. If you're spending money on yourself, then I support. But if you just spending money on things that I don't have probably anything from my 20s that I could really look back and be like, that's what my money went to. No, ain't got it. One of the biggest things that my 20s taught me was you don't need a lot of people in your circle. Again, that goes back to being less is more. Like, less is 10 times better. You do not need like 30 girls at your birthday dinner. You don't need the big lavish dinners. You don't need a big girls trip. You don't need none of that. Like, you need like 1 or 2 friends, if that, even if that's just your sisters, your cousins, whoever. 2 friends is enough. Having one solo dolo friend, like that one friend that's ride or die, that goes everywhere above and beyond the moon and back for you, that's all you need. Like, you don't need 8 girls to validate that you had a good time on your trip. Like, 1 friend is enough. If she check all the boxes, that's cool. You see what I'm saying? Like, and that's less people you gotta tell your business to. That's less people you gotta be vulnerable to. Like, you don't need, everybody don't need to see that side of you. Everybody don't need to touch that part of you. You see what I'm saying? You can have a lot of acquaintances, because that's what I had, but you do not need a lot of friends in your immediate circle. Like, you don't need that. Like, it's okay to have minimum friends. Like, that does not make you less worthy. That does not make you less valid, any of that stuff. Like, you're still who you are with just less friends, because you have less drama. You don't need all of that. As we're winding down on the list, we have about like 3 more things left. I want to dive into the part where I talk about self-care. I wish somebody would have told me that self-care was the key to unlocking mental health and like actual physical health. We're gonna get into those 2, mental and physical health, but we're gonna talk about self-care. So I wish people would have told me that self-care was prominent. Like, it's crucial. Like, I cannot think of anything, like, I cannot think of where I would be right now if I didn't focus on my self-care. Like, if I didn't preserve certain things that make me happy, like doing certain things religiously, you know, would make me very, very, very happy. Like, it keeps me who I am, and it keeps me grounded. Like, it keeps my sanity, it keeps everything. Like, self-care is very important. Like, doing my nails, like, I like to do my hair, like, I like to look cute, I like to do my makeup from time to time. Like, I just like to feel pretty. This is my self-care. this is my self-care. Like, this is all I got, and it makes me feel so good. Like, it pours back into my cup. If your self-care is going out with your homegirls, having a girls night out, or you going over a friend's house and it's girls night in, regardless of what it is, whatever your self-care is, that means you reading a book, watching a new series, whatever that looks like, do it. I definitely say do it. Like, definitely do it. Self-care is very, very, very important, and it'll get you out of any kind of funk. Like, you're having a bad week, your professor get on your nerves, your bosses get on your nerves, your family get on your nerves, do your little self-care routine. Promise you're gonna feel 10 times better. Then that brings me into my last 2 points, which is your mental health is very important and your physical health is very important. Like, mentally, you want to find things that make you happy. Like, it keeps your mental health happy. You have to feed your mental, like, feed it good positive things, because if you don't, you're gonna be miserable, you're gonna be upset, you're gonna be harvesting all these old energies, and then, like, before you know it, all this stuff is in your aura. Like, it brings you down. So to make sure that you are healthy mentally, develop a routine, develop good habits, do things that make you happy. Also practice being by yourself a lot. Like, take solo dates, because in your 30s you won't have a ton of friends. I mean, for the girls who are lucky, the women who are lucky to have like 20 plus friends right now, and you're in your 30s, I love that for you. But the rest of us, it gets very lonely in the 30s. Like, it's very hard to make friends in this point in life, but we are okay with who we are. For the most of us, like, we're okay with who we are. I'm okay with not having a shitload of friends. Like, I'm okay with that, but I know who I am, and I'm okay with being alone. So yeah, practice being alone, because it's good for the mental as well. And as far as your physical, like, girl, eat good, pay attention to what you put into your body, exercise as much as possible, because when you get 30, baby, you tired, your back hurt, and we can't do all of that. Like, y'all, we used to dance like non-stop at parties. We used to be freaking fools, sitting on couches and standing up in 6-inch heels the entire night for like 4 hours. I wish somebody would tell us not to do that, because y'all, that was ridiculous. Like, y'all are sitting in sections, like, y'all cute in the little section. We weren't getting sections. Like, back then, like, we weren't doing sections. We was just in regular general population with 6-inch heels on, walk around the club looking crazy. Like, who told us that was cute? I will say, in your 20s, this is like a bonus feature. This is like a bonus tip, is your faith. Like, if you develop a deep faith in God and like practice and study a religion, I promise you, nothing is gonna be able to break you. Like, developing a faith, like, that helps you get rooted and grounded in who you are. Nobody can stop that. Like, it ain't nothing nobody can tell you. Once you have a deep faith, and that faith builds confidence, because then you realize nobody else's opinions matter but God. So that means it don't matter what nobody say, it don't matter what guy don't like you, even though we should be about men at the time. We should be living our best life and just enjoying life, getting to know ourselves, because our 20s, you're fresh off the porch, fresh out your mama's house. Like, you ain't been in the streets like that. I mean, some of y'all have been, but you ain't really been out here in the world enough. So your 20s, that's when you go through the biggest life changes of your life. Like, so I say definitely try to develop a faith where you have something to resort back to, and then that builds that confidence, and then that molds you into the woman you're going to be in your 30s, and so forth and so forth. So that kind of wraps up like everything as far as like what my 20s has taught me. It taught me so much, and y'all, I am so grateful. Some of these things I am new to, but it doesn't, I mean, it's better late than never. So I'm okay with starting and getting my journey started a little later, but I would definitely say, had I would have known some of these things in my 20s beforehand, like somebody giving me the blueprint, then I probably would be a little bit more further ahead. But I thank God for my journey. I am understanding that everybody's journey is unique, so this is the path that I had to take, and I'm very grateful for it. And with me learning all these things throughout my 20s, then I'm gonna be an even better woman in my 30s. Like, I'm excited for my 30s, y'all. I'm ready to conquer my 30s. In my 30s, I am probably for the first time in my life chasing my dreams. Like, I had an idea of what I wanted to be, but I was trying to go the traditional route. Right now, I am chasing my dreams. Like, I am trying to turn my dreams into reality. And if you would like to come along this journey, then go ahead and subscribe down below. Subscribe down below and keep rocking with me and watch me grow and blossom into something so amazing, y'all. Like, I am so excited to see what's in store for me. I've been super consistent with social media, as far as like even the behind the scenes stuff, like brainstorming, coming up with ideas, coming up with different things to do. So I'm super excited for this journey. And yes, it is never too late to chase your dreams. It is never ever too late. Taraji got her first break, I think, in her 30s, like 34 or something like that. So baby, we gonna be good, girl. Like, welcome to the 30s, and comment down below what's your age, and I would love to chit chat with you guys. All right, bye.
Baby, I want more, it's you.